Welcome back to The Advisor. If you have not yet, please like and subscribe so we can continue providing you with amazing content. I am joined by Lisa Routel. She is the Chief Strategy Officer at BioOx, where she draws on 2 decades of omni-channel marketing leadership honed at Verizon and Jaguar Land Rover to accelerate the global adoption of the company's patented bioreactor air cleaning technology. That is a mouthful to say, but so damn impactful. Today she's on the show back. She has a series on our channel, but today she is back to discuss BioOx Grow. So it's a natural growth supplement for plants, agriculture, and indoor farming. So stick around because you're going to learn a lot of new things and your plants are going to be extremely happy by the end of the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the warm welcome. I always enjoy being on The Advisor.
Amazing. It's always good to have you back. And I'm excited to talk about your new product, especially since there's like this new craze. Everyone wants to be super healthy. Everyone wants to grow their own food. And so, yeah, can you give us a little bit of an understanding of what BioOx Grow is?
Absolutely. So, BioOx, we have a whole family of products based on the science of ROX. ROX is spelled ROX, and it stands for reserve or reservoir of oxygen. And that's oxygen that's absorbable within human bodies, within our systems, even within the earth. So, BioOx Grow, it's really cutting edge. We just received certification for organic production, and I'll go more into that, but it's our proprietary technology to stimulate agricultural plant growth. And a major point of recognition is that on top of this stimulation of agricultural plant growth, it detoxifies the soil at the same time. So it's really natural media for plants. So this could be used for large and small scale agriculture. It could be used for landscapes. It can be used for composting. It can be used for indoor, outdoor gardening. So it can really be used by commercial farmers as well as everyday type of farmers. So we've had major farmers like mushroom growers, those type of things, and you'll see that these type of plants like mushrooms, you'll see a before and after. We had an A/B test, and you'll see the crop yield and mass increase. So you'll see the side that uses our BioOx Grow, you have more mushrooms and they're much larger size and larger mass. So it's really a really unique type of growth supplement for farmers. And I want to make sure that I differentiate it. It's different from, say, a fertilizer, where a fertilizer really is not healthy for the soil and it uses a lot of toxins and chemicals. Whereas with us, we use the science of nature and using our proprietary rocks technology to grow and enhance a farmer's yield or the everyday gardener's yield.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible. Um, I love that your technology doesn't use the typical, the ingredients or the chemicals, because it's becoming so known how bad those are for the body. What we put in the soil, the plant takes that on, and then our bodies take that on. So talk to us a little more about like how does it increase the yield or quality? And does that mean that it's cutting the time in half? Like, are you seeing growth happening a lot faster? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So I would go back to rocks. So rocks, those reserves are how plants and animals and humans, it transports oxygen and water for growth. That's really the key. Say, even for humans, our immune system, that activity for fighting disease and destroying toxins, it's that same mechanism, so to speak. So our growth supplement, it's again based on rocks and then this biological relationship of these organic enzymes. So there you'll see the twofold relationship that the crop yield and biomass, it's increased. We saw from our tests increased by up to 40%. So you'll see that increase, and it detoxifies your soil in many different ways. So again, it's not like those fertilizers with those toxic chemicals. Here, our growth supplement, it detoxifies the soil and it destroys oils, gasolines, pesticides, herbicides. So all at once, it improves the yield because it improves that mechanism, as well as it's improving the whole environment for your plants in that growth, by really purifying the soil. So again, it's twofold using that rocks technology. And our growth supplement, it really works with those plant roots. It increases that nutrient intake, that water intake, and it captures it there. You'll see, like, even say if you see the before and after, we have a lot of different types of video and photography on our website, on our social media. The plant roots are really big and dense when our grow supplement is used. You'll see like they're really thick and rich. So you'll see the plants are actually sturdier, and it increases the efficiency of the plant roots because they're literally bigger and they can literally absorb more nutrients from the soil. And then again, the soil itself is more nutrient rich.
So can farmers add this to their system now, like right away, or does there need to be bigger changes made before they can do that?
One of the major benefits, I would say, of our grow supplement is that it really doesn't require any substantial changes, and it really provides that seamless solution. So there's no new machinery that's required, no, say, expensive redesign of your land or greenhouse. Literally, it's a bottle of a media. It's similar in look and feel to, say, our media that's used for our BioOx bioreactors. And what it is it's you pour it directly into the soil. So it's just added directly into that ecosystem that you already have. It doesn't need, say, sophisticated machinery or a new type of setup, or it doesn't need to be like a drip over time. It can be one shot, added directly to the soil, and then from there, you'll start seeing the nutrients being absorbed into the roots, and you start really seeing that strong yield. You should see growth sooner, faster, bigger within our growth using our growth supplement.
Amazing. So then how is it helping the environment?
Well, the plant roots, they actually require using the grow supplement less water, they waste less nutrients, and they also purify the soil for healthier growth. So really it's the even the plants themselves don't leach out that nutrients from the soil. So the our compound within grow, those natural enzymes, those nutrients, it replenishes the soil. So it's an endless cycle of, all right, then your plants are absorbing this nutrients. And then from there, the soil's getting enriched again using our growth supplement. And then a major component is similar to our bioreactor. It captures and destroys contaminants, like how our bioreactor captured and destroyed those air contaminants. Our BioOx Grow supplement, it actually leaches out those, again, like gasoline, herbicides, pesticides directly from the soil.
So how can an investment in this product pay off in the long run?
You know what? I mean, it's really the long run is that you actually have a more fruitful yield of your crop. It's stronger, and also you don't deplete the soil itself. So many times you have farmers that need to recycle different plants and crops because the soil gets exhausted. Whereas here you can have a continuous crop because you don't experience that depletion. So, I mean, it helps from a pollution standpoint. It helps from efficacy, from really those agriculturally rich lands providing food from for their local community and beyond, really. So it really addresses the food source and those type of needs of communities, as well as addressing any sort of pollution or environmental concerns, because that can be a concern for both, especially with farming that has both plants, say, corn or soybeans. And then also a lot of times you'll have agriculture animal agriculture nearby.
Mhm.
So that's
Right.
where there can be a transference of, say, E. coli. A lot of times you see that, say, with lettuce. How did that happen? Well, there were animal agricultural type of farms nearby, and you can have that transference. So that's why really from our perspective, from that type of agriculture for plants, using grow to really purify the soil, and then from an animal agricultural aspect, using our bioreactor to decontaminate the air, because that's what we have our bioreactor used for. A lot of times poultry houses, we're having a major study done within a poultry house. We've had previous studies done. Farmers use them, as well as it's used a lot in the equestrian space. We've had some very elite equestrian coaches and athletes, like Olympic gold medalists, use our use our bioreactor for their barns. So, I mean, you start seeing that a lot of times within their barns when they use our bioreactor, their animals don't have, say, the same allergies like they used to, or the same type of diseases. And also a major component, like I was just speaking about E. coli, possibly
Right.
contaminating like agricultural space. Also, ammonia is a major component for animal agriculture, and that can impact potentially your plants if they're nearby, especially the farmers themselves. That's a health concern for a lot of, say, poultry farmers where they get exposure to ammonia. So, we have multiple products to address all these different agricultural needs.
Yeah, I was gonna say your air product, all of these products that you guys have created work so well together.
They do. It's really a complement. And it's really using, again, that ROX technology where it captures and destroys those air contaminants or the soil. So, really, it's air, soil, water. It could technically be used for water. We've used that in certain cases in sewage treatment plants, those type of things. Also, our water supplement itself. We have a water supplement that is infused with rocks. So it's water that has those tightly packed bullets of oxygen and nitric oxide. So we've had now several elite professional athletes drink our water. So really, we're starting to be recognized for that technology, but it's really incorporating increased, again, that absorbable oxygen, that reservoir of oxygen, nitric oxide, which is key, especially for absorbing that oxygen. Like it dilates the blood vessels. You'll see that a lot, say, now it's very popular with beet supplements and those type of drinks. Whereas here, it's not like a vegetable like a beet where you metabolize it very quickly. Here with our water supplement, that reserve of oxygen, it stays with you and it builds in your system over time. And then we also have the biomicroorganisms, enzymes. And one of the major enzymes that we have in our products is catalase. And catalase has been proven time and time again to be very beneficial for life in general, like especially for, say, onset of diabetes. That was a major study, those type of things, but overall health. So we're really looking holistically at the earth because you really can't live in a vacuum. Like you might do everything right, you might exercise, you might eat right, but if say your air is not clean, you're going to absorb those contaminants, or you think you're eating right, but you never know if you had exposure to a certain chemical, a certain pesticide. Those pesticides stay with you. Essentially, all those pesticides that have been created on Earth are still on Earth as we speak. So that's where we really need to speak truth to this, that we really need to clean and decontaminate in all aspects of our lives and on this planet.
Yeah, it's crazy. The amount of people who are suffering because of this, pandemic of all these things in our air, in our water, in our soil that are causing inflammation in the body. And that wreaks havoc. And these are things that, you go to your typical doctor to ask about it and they can never find anything wrong. So I think digging beyond that, really getting into, like you said, the holistic view is so helpful because, like you said, there's so many things that our bodies are absorbing that we have no idea.
That's where it was key. Like even with COVID, our bioreactor air decontaminator, what it did was we used it for, and we still do to this day, at a major dental operating room. So there, I mean, that had to stay open during COVID. So what we did was, I mean, we had our bioreactors in their lobby, and that's where potential COVID germs could exist. So from there, the feedback we received is that at the height of COVID, they never had or saw a case of COVID in their dental operating room. So you really see with ROX technology, what it does is it captures and destroys at such a small level. And it's those small particles that I'll go into some of the details, but those small particles are the viruses. So viruses are really small. That's where avian flu comes into play, COVID, and then even these chemicals like ammonia, those type of things. So our bioreactor, we don't classify it as an air purifier. Air purifier. What we do is we classify it as an air scrubber because it literally decontaminates, captures, and destroys. That's huge. It's not only just captures, it destroys those air contaminants and using those enzymes. Again, it's digested. So that's where it's both captured and destroyed. And also, not only the air, but the surfaces. That's the key. So that's where, again, we have a certain cocktail of enzymes for our growth supplement, for the soil, as well as the air, and then the water supplement to really build that immunity within your body.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think I said last time, I just picture this is so needed on things like airplanes and buses, personal care homes, hospitals, where the contaminants are so high. Like I know for me, if I'm on a bus or an airplane and someone sneezes, I'm like, like I just want to hold my breath. I'm like, because have you ever seen that? You've seen it a million times where someone sneezes, like the projection of that. It's
It
crazy. It
is.
goes so far. Like you have no idea.
It is. It is. They had those models, especially during COVID. If someone sneezes, how the
Yes.
germs just spread, and it's at such a large magnitude and large radius. So that's where it's key. Like really, that's where the bioreactor, like our smallest unit in 85, that's what I have even in my house. It's really good for like for a 3,000 square foot house, that first floor. And also we have even say for chemical companies where they have a large warehouse. There could be larger reactors and there could be several, but we measure like how much square footage there is, really what type of chemical exposure there is, and then from there, adjusting to the quantity and the type of bioreactor. And the same goes for our grow supplement for a farmer. How much grow is needed for their crop? It really depends on their field size, their number of plants, those type of things. So there's a lot of calculation that goes into each of them. And also we were mentioning about the airplanes. What we have is we're starting I would say a specialty type of supplement where we have for our water, the original, we have a concentrated version as well, but we're starting to distribute our concentrated version. That's actually right now being distributed to professional athletes for training. And that's where it's very concentrated. And that's where it's key for bringing it on, say, a plane. And it's concentrated. So you can even dilute it and dilute it to the original or even the previously normally concentrated version. And from there, you're building your immune system. So we have a lot of really diehard fans that use our concentrated version on planes because we've seen, say, someone went to Thailand on some sort of biking trip and she was the only one. Everyone got sick after the plane ride. It was a long trip, but she was very strong and healthy. So you start seeing that the rocks in general really has an impact on immune systems, cardiovascular systems, those type of things, because it really depends on building that immunity, purifying the air, water, soil, and making you stronger because of it.
Amazing. So tell us more on who can use this. Are you guys serving internationally or who has access to your products?
Absolutely. We've been having international clients for several years now. So a lot of equestrian clients, major barns, Europe, the Middle East use our air decontaminators. Also for the water supplement, that's international as well. We've been getting a lot of traction with professional athletes, some within the NFL here in the United States. So that's exciting. We also had Bodie Miller, the Olympic gold medalist for skiing. He used our bioreactor, our air scrubber for his equestrian barn, as well as Keane O'Connor. He travels internationally and travels with our bioreactors internationally, but he's headquartered in Ireland. And then grow, I mean, we've had international farmers, especially in Europe and those type of areas, because Europe is actually more restrictive. They don't allow a lot of pesticides or chemicals. Like even when I went to France somewhat recently, at a major winery, I started seeing some of these little contraptions, and I said, "What are they for?" And they were for naturally attracting insects because they're not allowed to use those type of pesticides. So, it was actually really unique to see that, and we tend to be even in the United States now going in that direction where we really want to understand what we're eating and what these chemicals and what's being used within our food. And I think really it's a bottom up from the consumer side. The consumers don't want to eat food that's contaminated with chemicals, especially with, say, with chicken, with ammonia.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
huge because of, say, in a chicken barn, you're going to have fecal matter, you're going to have all sorts of things. What comes from
Yes.
that is ammonia. So a lot of times you would see major suppliers, they could, if the chicken, technically, if the ammonia level's high enough, chickens can go blind and things like that.
Wow.
So it's very typical and for people to consume chicken with possibly high levels of ammonia. So there's a lot to be said there. And I think it's good to question and see where your food is coming from and how it's
Hmm.
treated and what's done to really purify the food in a natural way.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, absolutely. So where can people find out more about your products?
The best place I would say is our website, biox.us. From there, you'll see everything. It will lead you to our social media handles. We have social media on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Also, we have a whole media center where we include our press releases, our articles. We've had some major publications in both national and international publications, as well as videos. So you'll see some of those major, say, horse barns, or even videos of the A/B test with our BioOx grow, and you'll see for yourself really that crop yield, a lot of those different things. And also, we had major medical studies at major medical schools based on the science of rocks, pain management, and hepatitis C. So you'll really understand the science behind our products because I think that's key. I think you'll really understand our story as well. We were founded by a major research scientist. These products are really from 30 years of his research in the lab, and they're really coming to life in these products to help people and help the world and our planet.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here. It was so much fun talking to you about your new product and the ones that are already making waves in the world. What a rewarding thing. Like you must feel so good to know that you're helping so many people.
It is. I think that's the key to my life right now. I really want to dedicate my life and my energy to initiatives that make the world a better place. So I'm very happy here.
Amazing. Do you have any last minute things you want to leave the audience with?
Well, please engage with our social media pages. We would love to get to know you. Please get to know us. Please, again, read those articles and watch the videos. And we would love to really share our knowledge about rocks and our products, especially our newest product, Grow, and how that can help you and your family. So we're really dedicated to science. We're science-based, and we really want to continue our relationships with new and existing customers. So feel free to reach out, and we're looking forward to getting to know you.
Well, today was so much fun. It was so good to see you again. I know it's been a while, but thank you so much for being here and again for sharing this product with the world.
Thank you. I always enjoy speaking with you. Thank you.
Thank you. And to our audience, thank you for tuning in. We are going to link all of those links in the show notes for you so you have easy access to BioOx and all of the products and the information. Have a look, you guys. It could really help change your world. Air quality, soil quality, the things we're putting in our bodies. We need to start paying attention to that. So, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, bye everyone. Have a really great weekend.